Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Lorelai here. As you can see, we have some special guests here today. I have Ellie and Finnegan, both adoptables from Adopt a Bunny Rabbit in Calabasas. Vicky, the head of the rescue, was kind enough to let me feature them in today's video. And today's video, I'm going to show you how to properly feed critical care to your rabbit. Now, this is such an important aspect about rabbit care. I had zero clue on how to feed Lennon critical care properly at the end of her life. Mostly because no one had ever really taught me. I think there's a big misconception on how to actually make the critical care, how to feed it, and also how to do so with perhaps an uncooperative bunny, because I know a lot of bunnies don't like being force-fed. Lennon was one of those bunnies. At the beginning, she resisted a lot. So I'm gonna give you some tips on how to just make it a smoother process, how to make it taste a little bit better, how to store it, how to position your bunny, the tools you need, etc. But everyone should have a form of recovery food at home, regardless of the brand, and I will go into the brands a little bit later. It should be part of your emergency kit. It is an essential. So if your bunny ever gets sick or is recovering from an illness, a surgery, or isn't, eating voluntarily on their own, you are going to need recovery food. Recovery food has all the nutrients, typically the fiber, the vitamins that your rabbit would be getting otherwise if they were healthy, in powder form. And so you turn that into a paste and then you force feed them via syringe. So it is a little bit harder than it looks, but then once you get the hang of it, it's a piece of cake. So Finny here, Finnegan, is going to be our star of the show, our model. He's a sweet, how old is he?
4.
He's a sweet 4-year-old boy.
Emotional support
And
for Finnegan.
yeah, Ellie is just here for emotional support and to be cute and fluffy. But she is up for adoption as well. And I'm gonna link Adopt a Bunny Rabbit in the description below. They are based in Calabasas. Also, guys, I want to remind you that I'm now offering phone consultations for all your bunny care questions. Whether you're a new rabbit owner or experienced rabbit owner, I'm here to answer anything regarding diet, housing, bonding, and overall health. These one-on-one phone calls are a chance for you to get personalized and tailored guidance for all of your bunny's needs. So you can book your phone call in the link below. Let's get right to it. And stick around to the end because I'm going to teach you how to make your own recovery food at home from scratch. Okay, let's get started. Here's what you'll need. First, a recovery food. Critical Care is a little more well known, but Sherwood's recovery food is a great alternative. The biggest differences between the two are Sherwood tends to feature more natural, sugar-free, and gluten-free ingredients. Critical Care does have wheat and soy and is a little more nutrient-packed. There are some other brands that produce recovery food. I've just never tried them. I would say these two are the most common. You'll also need a spoon or stirring stick, a bowl, mug, or cup. I personally prefer something more upright like a mug or cup because it is easier to draw the mix from a syringe. Speaking of which, you'll need an oral feeding syringe. Some have shorter nozzles than others. I do prefer a longer nozzle. Finally, this is optional, but some fruit and or leafy greens or herbs. You can either make the formula with or without them. I personally prefer to mix in a little bit of fresh veggies and fruit for taste and a nutrient boost, especially if my rabbit is unable to eat on their own. It helps mimic the foods they would normally choose to eat and makes the formula much more appealing. And basically, you just want to blend these together to make an all-natural juice, and please go mild on the sugar, guys. Now we can start preparing the mixture. Use about 1 part powder to 2 parts warm water/juice. The exact amount you'll need really depends on your bunny's condition. So if this is something your vet has recommended, make sure to get the proper dosage from them. For example, some rabbits may only need 20 mLs twice a day, while others might require closer to 30 mLs 5 times a day. In today's video, I'll be making about 20 mLs for Finnegan, which works out to about 1 meal. And again, if you don't want to add the juice, that's fine. You can just use the water. A lot of it is really just eyeballing it and stirring it well. You don't want it to be too thick that it can't be drawn into a syringe, or too runny that it's just a liquid. Right in the middle is ideal, like an applesauce consistency. You can add water or powder accordingly to loosen or thicken things up. Again, it should be easy to draw up. If it's too difficult, it's way too thick. Okay, so to begin, I really suggest doing this on a high surface like a table or a countertop. And the reason I suggest a high surface is because your bunny is less likely to run away from you. And coating that surface with a towel or a bunny bed so that your bunny is not sliding around. Now, a little trick I like to do to make things more appealing is put a little nibble of banana on the tip of the syringe, just the tiniest nibble. First, I'm tilting the head. I'm coming in from the side of the mouth. Make sure that nozzle is nice and deep. Notice I'm only administering a very small amount, about 1 ml. You really want to let your bunny finish chewing in between feedings. If you go back in prematurely, the mouth will be overfilled and you run the risk of them spitting it out. And finally, remember to wipe down the mouth after each feeding, otherwise it'll get crusty and messy. And don't worry, I'm going to repeat this process multiple times throughout the video. Again, here I'm coming in from the side, I'm tilting the head. And again, let them finish chewing. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. And speaking of slow, notice how I'm only going in with about 1 ml with each feeding. It's a very small amount because if you overdo it, again, you risk them spitting it back out. A lot of people want to rush this process, but it's going to be tedious, I'll be honest with you. Again, coming in from the side, tilting the head, letting Finnegan chew. Now, in between these feedings, I'm wiping down Finnegan's mouth and I'm also wiping down the tip of the nozzle. And notice, there's not really a big mess here. There's a big misconception that force feeding critical care is a very messy job, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually not supposed to be messy at all. I mean, it's okay if you drip a little here and there, but you're losing a lot of product when you do that. You want your bunny to be ingesting the critical care and not spitting it back out. And I'm going back in with a little banana. As you can see, the more times I do this, the more trusting Finnegan is becoming. In the beginning, there was a lot of resistance, and now not so much. This is the progress you should be making with your bunny. And I'm just repeating here, coming in from the side, tilting the head, letting him chew, and then wiping the mouth. I'm barely even holding his head or using any force. He is just letting me feed him at this point. Now, this is the first time I've met Finnegan. I don't have a relationship with him like I did with Lennon, but Lennon reacted the same way when she was going through her feedings. Eventually, she just came to terms with it. Rabbits are very smart. They know when you're trying to help them. Are there bunnies who are going to take longer and longer to get used to this? Of course, everyone's on their own timeline, but practice makes perfect. You can tell there's just so much less resistance than the beginning of the video. Finnegan's getting really comfortable here. He's even wiping down his own mouth. Now I'm fast forwarding a bit because, like I said, this does take time. I would say anywhere between 30 to 40 minutes depending on how much you actually have to feed. So you really want to set time aside for these feedings. Very, very important, guys, when you've completed the entire feeding, take a damp towel or cloth and wipe down that mouth because otherwise it will get crusty and matted and also trap bacteria, which you do not want. Quick tip for those who don't have access to critical care or recovery food. Maybe you live in a country that doesn't offer it, or maybe you've run out at home and you need some last minute. You can make your own recovery food using the following: high fiber Timothy pellets, Timothy hay, fruits, veggies, and oats or oat groats. So first you're gonna add a little bit of warm water to your pellets to soften them up. Then go to the bottom of your hay bag and grab a handful of those hay crumbs at the bottom. Blend that as finely as possible and use a sifter mixer to sift it into a powder. Otherwise, it is going to clog your syringe if there's big strands of hay in this formula. Blend your oats or oat groats. Make the same juice we made earlier in this video and mix everything together. Remember, if it's still too thick, just add more water. It's not going to be an identical formula, but it's very, very close if you need a substitute. And yes, of course, you can refrigerate critical care leftovers. Make sure you are sealing your jar or container properly. This is perishable, especially if you use the fresh juice. So I would not store this for more than a day, anything beyond that, and I'm just gonna make a fresh batch. Always make sure you're using warm water to loosen up refrigerated leftovers because it's gonna be a little stiff. And as for the opened bag itself, seal it nice and tight and refrigerate. Recovery food does have an expiration date on it, so try to use it within its shelf life. Okay, so for my really fussy bunnies, here's one final tip. I'm going to show you how to do a bunny burrito. This is a safe technique that is often used to limit the bunny's movement. All you need is a towel or blanket. What I'm doing here is I'm tucking the front paws in the towel, then I'm folding one side over nice and snug, then I'm folding the other side on top of that. Again, make sure it's nice and snug, and then the back side you're going to tuck under the bunny. Can we give Finnegan a round of applause for being such an amazing model/actor? Truly, this baby needs a good home. So again, please check out adoptabunnyrabbit.org for all their adoptables. Let me know in the comments if you've had to syringe feed your bunnies before. I hope this helped, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all soon. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have some special guests in the video. Wait, what's her name? Ellie. Okay, so, oh my God, I don't want her to jump off.
Oh, don't worry. I mean, if she jumps off, it's fine. I can pick her up and put her back up.
That's fine. No, I didn't want her to hurt herself. Oh my God. No, but there's no rug.
I know, it's no rug.
Well, we can put her down now.
She probably would not have gotten hurt, even to hit the floor.
Oh my God, no.
Remember, you know how cats jump all the time?
No, but
What can I put down there? Here. Just, that way you don't worry.